Welcome to She Says with your host, Stephanie Regalado. She Says guests share stories from their challenges to successes and, most importantly, the journey of womanhood woven alongside the collaboration of sisterhood. From self, love, friends and family, to hot topics, career, and world views, Stephanie and her guests discuss matters with utmost openness and honesty. So let's hear what she says. Here's Stephanie.
Hello, welcome to She Says. I'm Stephanie Regalado, your host. Super excited to have some of the Wishing Star Foundation team here with me, Andrea, Kilgore, and Krista, Caro. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
I'm excited because I had done some work, some consulting work and social media work for Taste Spokane, one of your big events a couple of years ago, for a couple of years. And I fell in love with the Wishing Star Foundation. And it's always been a little dream in the back of my head, or every time I buy a lotto ticket, that if I win, I want to show up and grant, if wishes are still $5,000.
Yeah.
Yes. A $5,000 wish, or multiple, just like Oprah, and you get a car, and you get a car.
You get a wish.
But
You get a wish.
You get a wish. You get a
We're
wish.
now also hoping you win the lottery. So there's that.
Because truly, I mean, there's so many amazing nonprofits and so many amazing community organizations doing incredible work for every member of our community, fur babies through every type of human presentation. But when we talk about our kiddos and those who are most vulnerable, and to think that they're facing a life-challenging and life-threatening condition of some sort, I mean, I can't even imagine what the parents are going through, what the kiddos are going through. What is it like to do the work that you do?
Well, I love it. It's probably one of the most rewarding things. One of the big things is we just get to work with the kids, and there's not very many things in life where you get to work with somebody and they're happy to, even in their worst moment, they're so happy to see you, you know, and so what we're trying to do is not just grant wishes, but really go beyond the wish of what does this family need? Because we're a family, everybody in Wishing Star, our families, our community, we pull together and we have Beyond the Wish events. So a lot of people who think of us think about wishes, but what's so fun is just getting these kids, these parents and moms together where they can talk about what issues they're having, or you know, we just had a family just call me the other day and say, we're going through a lot right now. Is there any way that, do you know I have any connections for Lion King? Just totally random, or we have a doctor's appointment in Seattle and we're not going to make it because we can't get there. So being able to be that person as a connector and connect our families, and they know that they can trust us and know that we're there to help them, way beyond a wish is probably the most fulfilling thing and exciting.
Yeah, that's one of the things I loved about attending your events, because you see so many of the families come out and you really do feel that, the connectivity.
Well, and as the newbie, this is wrapping up my 5th week. I've been amazed at the depth and the breadth of what Wishing Star offers the kids and their families. And I got to go on my first wish visit with Andrea, and the mom, the son was nonverbal, and the mom just felt so isolated. She didn't have people here. It was hard for them to get out and get around, and you realize how painful that must be to not have a community when you're going through quite possibly one of the worst experiences a parent could ever imagine.
Absolutely.
And so I love that we do more than the wish. And for some kids, a wish isn't a trip to Disneyland. It's a comfort issue. I know.
We just granted a wish, and his only wish was a Nintendo Switch. His only wish was a Nintendo Switch, and the community was so stinking awesome. And we had this great volunteer who came in and said, I want to do that. And so we built on that wish, and because he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't get in and out of his room, and there was some other things, it wasn't wheelchair accessible for him to kind of be independent. So these volunteers kind of made him a gaming room and just kind of stepped up and did a full remodel. But I saw him recently and I said, oh my gosh, tell me, what was the most exciting thing about your wish? Thinking it was going to be this amazing room and everything that he saw.
He's got a new TV and a lighting system and all sorts of cool things.
It's beyond anything you could ever. This room is beyond anything you could ever imagine. He's like, I got my Nintendo Switch.
Oh, right.
I was like, that
the
was,
heart of the wish.
That is literally, it was his wish. So wishes are, we have a little girl, her wish is to go to Priest Lake for the week.
Oh.
And not even in the summertime.
We also have a little girl who wants a donkey.
Yes.
More power to you.
Yes. How do her parents feel about this donkey wish?
They're okay with
Talk
that.
about beyond the wish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
logistics
adorable.
of where they would keep the donkey is another thing, but
Yeah.
she wants a donkey, so.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
precious.
like it's just their wishes are so stinking sweet. So
Yeah.
and we do a lot of like comfort wishes for kids. Like we had a little boy that he couldn't adjust his body temperature, so we were able to partner him with the community and get him a central air system. So that he doesn't have as many seizures in the summertime and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a really real issue, and that was what the best wish for him could be.
Oh my gosh.
So we do lots of stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. He just invited me to his birthday party next week.
Oh, really? I love it. I think I may have seen something on social media about that one. Because a lot of people do think his wishes being some kind of extravagant moment in this child's life to uplift them. One of my favorite things that I experienced while I was working on the social media for your event was I had them give me quotes from the kids to create some memes and other things. And they are so sweet because most of them were, the whole surrounding of the wish and the idea of the wish and just being part of it was so uplifting, like you were saying, even when they were facing such pain on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That they could be, one of them that really stuck with me, it just gave me chills, is I could feel like a normal kid.
Right.
Because you could kind of have an out-of-body experience almost when you're so focused on the excitement of even central air conditioning. So because I couldn't imagine what it's like to live within your own home and be at risk of seizures when there could be something that could help you.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. And the kids, we find that so many of our kids, as soon as they've had the wish, they'll message me and say, how can I come help? Or can I help with a wish? Or
I love it.
I have several wish kids that are older, my older wish kids, because we grant wishes for ages 3 to 21.
Okay.
So my older kids will always be like, can I come work in the office? Or can I do this? Or, and then it just helps them set that routine. When they're still getting treatments, they can't be around a lot of people.
Right.
But our office, I'll sanitize it before they come over and they can help, work on another wish, which is really exciting. So
it is. And it really shows you like that deep core wanting to give and to belong when you're being generous with your time.
It just builds on that family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, once you're a Wishing Star family, you're always a Wishing Star family. And we have Wishing Star kids who are now grown-ups, and we're celebrating our 35th year, which is important to say.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've been around for a long time, but because we've had that longevity, we have Wishing Star kids who are grown-ups and are now giving back monthly donations, large checks randomly, and that's cool. I mean, they know that what happened to them was so special. They want to help somebody else experience.
How was
that.
Wishing Stars created?
It was created by a teacher, completely grassroots. She had a kid in her class who had cancer, correct?
Correct.
I see, I'm getting my details down.
Good.
And she wanted to do something. And so she started, out of the goodness of her heart, started Wishing Star Foundation. They funded the wish.
Yeah.
She and her husband funded the wish.
Yeah, Karen Karowski. She turned in, she cashed in her 401k. Essentially, she had a little boy that had a brain cancer, and she couldn't help him and thought she didn't want to ever have that happen again. So she cashed in her 401, bought tires for her car, and started essentially knocking on doors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To create Wishing Star.
Oh my gosh.
So.
How many requests for wishes do you have in a year?
Currently we have 35 children waiting for wishes.
Oh my gosh.
So we serve the Spokane, Tri-Cities, and surrounding areas.
Okay.
So we have 35 kids waiting, and I have about 30 kids in my referral list. So it's like somebody referred them. So anybody, a lot of people think doctors or nurses or social workers have to refer you, but anybody can refer a child. So I'm sure even somebody who could probably benefit from a wish.
Absolutely.
So it's children with life-threatening, life-shortening. And now we understand that there's so much gray, like medically complicated, I would say, that we would review. So there's some kids that just don't fit in that perfect little box.
Right.
So that we'll review them.
Yeah, and we'll usually be able to work with kids that don't necessarily fit into the boxes.
So we rely on the doctors at that point to go back to the doctor and say, some doctors will say, yes, this kid needs a wish. Okay. There was a little boy that spent over a year in a hospital.
Oh, boy.
And didn't technically qualify for a wish, but, you know, he's having surgery after surgery.
Yes,
and a point of a wish is to give hope, to
right.
have them fight and have them want to do their treatments and have them see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
You know?
When something is impacting their childhood on such an immense level like that, that takes them out of the normal childhood type of shoot, I think is a qualifier.
Yeah. So part of that is, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I can't determine, like, if I could give a wish to every single child in the world, I would.
And multiple wishes. Again, it comes in with winning the lottery.
Yes, I know.
If I could do that, I would. So, but I always encourage everybody to refer, to, you know, refer a child, and then we talk to the doctors, and sometimes the doctor will say, this kid's right on the cusp of, you know, needing a wish, or and then we just kind of go from there.
But it's all through our website. So they can refer right through our website,
wishingstar.org.
And the forms are there to refer somebody, and then we take it from there. And but we would love to have more referrals all the time, because the more kids we can serve, the better
our community is.
The better our community is, yeah. And
absolutely.
You know, we see ourselves really as the conduit between the incredibly generous people in our community and the kids that need them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of what we're here for.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. But when we come back, I'd love to hear how the community supports and how it makes it happen, and the timing for these 35 kiddos that are ready to have their wishes granted. We'll be right back after this message.
Well, this is nice.
Yeah.
That's real Brazilian walnut.
Yeah.
We know.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and the description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
Hello there, Internet. My name is Braden Magruder, and I'm just coming out of the Spokane Talks building, and I'm excited to bring to you guys a new announcement that I am going to be the new host of the Youth Spotlight program. Now, our old host, Colin, he's off to Texas Christian University to pursue a degree in theater and broadcasting, and you know what? That's great for him, but that's what I like to call adulting. And you know, I don't think that we have time for adulting with the Youth Spotlight program. What the Youth Spotlight program is here to do is to bring to you guys news, the greatest news of some of the most amazing people here throughout Spokane that are, just going in high school, maybe about to go into college, you know. These people are achieving life's dreams, and they are so young, and I think that these are stories that you guys should know about. And I'm so excited to be bringing them to you. Now, I'm a Spokane native myself. I've been performing throughout Spokane in various different shows. I just closed the show of Music Man, and, you know, I guess I like long walks on the beach, keeping my business attire, while also keeping my French fry socks on close at hand. You know, it's going to be a great year, and I'm so excited to be your guys' host. So tune into Youth Spotlight to watch me interview some of the most amazing people. Thank you and have a great day.
Hello, welcome back to She Says. I'm Stephanie Regalado with Krista, Caro, and Andrea Kilgore. So we were talking about wishes, 35 children with wishes waiting, about 30 referrals that are waiting to be processed. How are these wishes funded? How's the organization funded?
Wishing Star is funded 100% through individual contributions.
100%?
Yeah, that we don't have state or federal help.
Okay.
We are unable to apply for most grants.
Why is
really
that?
Any grants. Because we don't have measurable outcomes.
Oh.
You know, helping a kid is amazing and it makes them feel good.
Because it's priceless. It's not.
It is. Yeah. There's nothing to say this, and this happened because of what we did. And grants like to see that. And Wishing Star has put a lot of effort into trying to find grants, and there's just really nothing out there. So we depend entirely on the community and our sponsors and supporters and their generosity to make sure that we can grant wishes for these kids. We also do fundraising on our own. We have several events throughout the year. Taste Spokane that you mentioned coming up on February 15th at Northern Quest. Tickets are currently on sale.
You can find them through your website, correct?
Absolutely, yeah, and our Facebook page as well. And that was one I went to last year before I was even part of Wishing Star and had a blast. It is just a great event.
So it's all about food.
It is all about food
Which
and
we all love.
Beverages.
And beverages,
of the adult variety.
Yes, yes.
And you get to wander around and have small tastes from a variety of different vendors and
unlimited tastings. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And you're so up and moving, so it's fun to mingle and you get to meet a lot of people.
And there are so many great members of our community that are involved with supporting Wishing Star who show up at Taste and your other events. So it's really fun to come together that way too.
Right.
And because you get that whole sense of family. You see families there, hear stories.
And a lot of our Wish kids are there, which is really cool too.
Yeah.
And Taste is presented this year by STCU, who's brand new in sponsoring
they
that
are.
event, which is
good for
fantastic. We love partnering with STCU, as well as all of our other amazing sponsors that are coming.
So you have a lot of sponsors that are businesses.
And then we have a lot of people who want to win the lottery, like you said, but not necessarily winning the lottery. They'll just see little needs and say, you know what, I can provide a gas card. Or they hear about a wish and they're like, I know somebody who has a cabin at Priest Lake, or I know, my friends and I can pull together and get that Nintendo Switch. Or it's amazing the generosity of people. Or we have people calling us all the time. We had a lady who said, hey, I won tickets for Taylor Swift. Can you use them? And so all of those are like beyond the wish, but like our community, the one that just did the remodel, they did 100% of it, and they just started knocking on doors and asking for people to get involved. And
they did it out of their own pockets.
And it was it was such a good thing because they brought their family, their friends, and everything. So what would have been like an expensive wish wasn't a lot because they pulled everybody together.
Yeah.
So it's just, it brings, granting a wish also brings your community together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also matches partners with us. And then it just makes everybody at the end of the day feel really good. And they just did so much amazing stuff.
Yeah.
We have our Circle of Friends, which is where people can do a donation like once a month, and even a $10 donation a month.
Yes.
If enough people do that, that's a wish.
Yeah.
And it all goes to our wishes or our Beyond the Wish.
Okay.
Our Beyond the Wish, we just did gingerbread houses with all of our kids, and we partnered with Broadway Court, and it was so much fun. And we partnered with the community there, and each wish kid partnered with one of the residents.
Oh my
and
gosh,
it just
how
brought
fun.
Everyone together, the seniors and the kids together, and it was just the most heartwarming day.
I love that.
We love that we're local. We raise money locally, and the money stays local. And it has a very grassroots feeling to it.
Right.
Because we are relying on the community to find inroads with celebrities, if that's the case, or to take on a wish if they want to. Our holiday giving program is underway now, and we have sponsors coming out of the woodwork to help our families. But it's that local flavor, I think, that sets us apart from a lot of other wish granting organizations who also do amazing work. But we're right here. We're in your community, and it's fantastic.
The Christmas giving is a little bit different, too, because most people, you pick a name and you buy a gift and you never know where that is. But anybody who wants to be a sponsor for Christmas giving, they get to shop, wrap, and then deliver the gifts to the family.
Oh, really?
So, like, if you have children or grandchildren or anything like that, that's a really good thing to have your kids, kind of get to see and connect with the people that you're dropping your gifts off. There's a few situations where our families, because of immune system and health, that they can't drop them off, but that's really rare. And most of our wish families want to really know the sponsors who are helping them.
I love that. How do people become involved with any aspect?
Contact us.
Just No,
Is it a call or go through the website?
You can
Are there
call or go through our
opportunities?
website. We have volunteer opportunities all the time. Wish conductors are, I think Andrea is going to do a training in January. But we'll get somebody on board anytime. So if anyone's interested in being a wish conductor.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
A wish conductor is somebody who helps develop the wish. So they meet with the child once a month. It's about an hour a month, which seems... but they get to know the child, they get to know the family, and then they just start to see, like, this child wants whatever it is that they want, and then just start to get to know more, and then help us expand what that wish is, and what does that wish really look for the child? Is it mom's wish? Is it brother's wish? Or is this truly the child's wish? You know, and then we help support that, and we help the wish conductors, and then sometimes wishes are really slow moving. Sometimes you're working with medical. Sometimes you're working with time and parents being able to have the time to take off, or if it's a travel. There's so many things that go into it. So our goal is to have our wish conductors really connect with the families, where if they meet with them 1 month, the next month maybe they send them a card, or they just talk to them on the phone and kind of touch base. You know, is that child in the hospital? If they are, can we go visit them, or what does that family need? So the more families that I have connected, the more people I have connected with my families, we can serve our families better, you know.
How long does it take to create the wish?
Every wish is so different. We did one in a week, and then we did one in 6 months, or it's all on the families. Like, if I needed to get a wish done, and if I had an emergency wish and said I need this wish done,
we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. It's not the kids aren't on a waiting list, so we might not be granting it might take 1.5 years for a wish to be granted. Okay. But it's not because we're delaying that wish. Right. It's based on the family and where the family is at. So sometimes there are people like, why did it take 2 years for this wish to happen? And one of them, we have a little boy, he's waited for his wish because when he became part of Wishing Star, he was too young. Oh, okay. Not that he was too young, but his mom felt he was too young to really know what a wish is. Oh, right. Yeah. But they still referred him so that he can be part of our community and part of our family. So... sometimes people they're not ready for a wish at all, but want to have that connection with a group.
But we like to say there's nothing we can't do for our kids. Right. Between this generosity of the community and their staff in the office, we're going to make it happen, whatever that needs to look like. So. Yeah.
And for your 35 kids that you have, wishes you have an idea of what they are. How long will it take, do you feel, to process all through those 35?
Well, like I said, each one. So as much as I'll grant, a couple years. As soon as I grant one wish, another one comes. So you know what I mean. Yes. So it's so hard.
How many do you do each year? On average?
Average is 30 wishes a year was an average. That's some years are less, some years are more. So that's why over our years it's been about 30 wishes a year.
Okay, that's a significant amount. So you're granting wishes a couple each month.
Yeah. So right now we're about one a month. Is where we're at right now, and a lot of our wishes are just kind of pending on
spring break,
on our families,
families that need to go over spring break. Yes. So it just depends. But we have one of the things I wanted to talk about with other volunteer opportunities is probably one of our most unique events is Send a Friend a Goat.
Yes.
Can't forget. I'm not saying I started a Wishing Star because of goats, but I do love goats a lot.
Krista loves goats.
They're so cute.
Oh, they really are. Have you been goated?
I've been goated a few times.
Yeah, so have I, and I'm so excited. They tell me I may not love goats as much after spending a couple of weeks with them, but we have a significant volunteer need for people who want to come along and hang out with goats and take them to people. So that's another great volunteer opportunity that we have.
And when does that run?
That'll be in
warmer
April.
Yeah. Okay. Springtime.
In May in the Tri-Cities.
When all those baby goats.
You got to wait for the baby goats to be born.
But as far as volunteer opportunities, people are always like, they'll say, I want to do this. But for me, it's like, I just want to connect with my volunteers. Right. Just as much as I want to serve my volunteers, I want to serve my community and the volunteers. So everybody has a strong suit. Yeah. And so just like my kids don't fit in a box, my volunteers don't fit in a box. So it's like, let me meet you for coffee and see what are you passionate about? Because I'm pretty sure whatever your skill set is, I can
Yes.
find something
Oh,
for you.
right.
You know?
And we're a
Exactly.
staff of a whopping 3 people, so we can
Whoa.
use all the volunteer support we can get.
No kidding. Who is your executive director?
Dan Curley.
Oh, Dan. He's been there for a few years now.
Yes.
2
Yes,
or
he
3?
has, yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
3, I
he's
believe.
Done great things there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Andrea just celebrated a year.
My
and
1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
tomorrow's the end of my 5th week, so
So
we have a lot of energy and a lot of excitement for the future.
Yeah.
And I think we know that we can serve more kids and
Yes.
make a bigger difference in the community.
As
We're excited.
development director, what's your dream?
I
If you
want to
can,
raise $1 million so that we
You
can
do.
help any child fulfill their dream who needs it.
Yeah.
The more money that we can raise, the more impact we can make in the lives of these children and their families for years to come.
Yeah.
With the
and
Beyond
help
the
serve
Wish.
them where there's no help serve these families where there's no programs.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like there's holes. There's
Yeah.
so many programs out there, but
Yes.
there's nobody that serves the family as like all the little. We just had somebody ask for a turkey because their turkey when they opened it up was rotten.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
And they're like, I spent
Couple
all my
days
money.
before
That makes me never want to eat a turkey.
Yeah,
I
but
know,
they
I'm
opened up the
close
turkey.
anyway.
And so
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah,
silly, but it's like
No.
they paid all this money for a
Yeah.
turkey and couldn't afford another turkey.
Yes.
And they're
Well,
like,
so many of our families are financially devastated because of their children's illnesses.
Oh, I was going to say, it's so hard raising a family when you have a solid income and you have everything figured out. There's still
and healthy kids.
and healthy kids.
Right.
And you add in, like you said, financial devastation due to
Medical bills,
costs.
time off
Like,
work,
time off
having
work
to
is a big
travel for
thing.
therapies.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. So we want to be able to support our families as well. It's
Yeah.
not just about the kids; it's a whole family.
Well, and I love that they have, because there may be 100 different programs that they could look into out there, but that they have you as their kind of their home base to reach out and say, we need this, how can you help? That must take such a weight off of
yeah.
them. My son was considered special needs in the beginning, and as teenagers, I think all teenagers are special needs.
For a while.
Yeah, but you do feel so isolated because I had a daughter before, and she was super healthy. There was no problem. And then you have this child that has challenges that you've never heard of or thought of before, and you do feel like you are suddenly on this tiny little island by yourself.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what goes through your mind as a parent.
And a lot of families don't have a support system.
right.
Right.
Or their support system, the depending on time and how long their child's been sick,
Yeah.
gets smaller and smaller.
Yes.
Because the reality is that's hard for a lot of people to continue to help support. So
Right.
with this and bringing our families together,
Yeah.
they can all relate to each other.
Absolutely.
And we've realized in a lot of ways we need to be able to go to where our families are and not expect them to come to us.
Yes.
And that's a
Yeah, I love-
tricky thing with a small staff to have the resources to go out and actively look for. But a lot of our they're just in the weeds. They don't really know how to ask for help and where to go for help.
Right.
And they may not have the bandwidth to even get to that point. So being able to meet them where they are and bring them in. And so that's a big dream of mine, is to enhance that ability
Yeah.
on Wishing Star.
And you're Beyond the Wish. Do you have things that support the parents, just specific to the parents? Like,
We're working on that. Like
yeah.
right now, the biggest thing that we can do is we were actually just talking about having like a date night for our families or something like that. But the reality is every family is so different.
yes.
To be able to get them alone together, So the only thing that right at this moment is, and it would fall under the Beyond the Wish, is if they have a specific need, we would find that connection to help support them. And then our events that we have, I try to always make them like intimate so that they can have time and set it up where people are with the kids and then parents have time to kind of breathe and talk with each
That's
other
so
and
important.
connect.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
and in the unfortunate event that we lose a child, which
Yes.
is always hard, we support the family after that as well. So
Yeah.
that really tricky 6-month period where the dust is sort of settled and they're figuring out how to get on with
Yeah.
everything. And
It's sending the families, the mom and dad away for a weekend and where they can connect and emotionally connect and not have any worries is a big thing. That was one of the founders' things, is that she really truly believed in if a child passed away, that family and the parents need to be able to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love the work that you are doing. I can't imagine two other women that are better suited and more magical than the two of you. So thank you for joining us here
Thank you
today
for
and
having
sharing
us.
it.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. Again, visit wishingstar.org. Look through all the magnificent work they're doing. You need us. You need you need all the families, and you need the community. And it does feel so good, to give and to make magic happen and wishes. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
She Says is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content.